Hey guys, so we're out here at the third spot. I'm going to show you guys this bank spot. Now when we left the other night from that other spot, we came here and then I got that 25 pounder and we caught a couple other fish. But we're going to talk about this spot a little bit. This is kind of a little bit of a simple spot too, from just being able to see what you can view here at the surface, but what lies beneath on the water out here. There's a lot of changes in depth and things like that. Some pretty good structure out there as well, so we'll get into that. So let's look at the spot. Okay, looking into the spot, somebody's got some chairs down here. Those aren't our chairs, but I'm gonna kind of give you guys a panorama view right here. You got this bank behind us. Up there where it clears out up there, that's the road. And you come around, here's our chairs and our canopy because it is raining a little bit. And then you pan around to where I'm at here and back down to another chair here and back over to Cole. So when we look at what's out here, and this is kind of where I'm casted at over here and where that 25 pounder came from. There's a big tree down right out there and it's kind of stuck out there because what happens right here, you zoom back out and I'll show you guys. Coming just off the bank, it kind of tapers down and gets a little deep, almost 20 feet. And then right out there in the middle, about where that log starts, where you start seeing that log, it humps up out there, and it's only about 10 foot deep out there, all the way out to the middle. There's a big flat out here. So then once you come back off of this log right here, it's probably the deepest area in this whole entire spot right here. Just off of this log right here, the bank kind of starts going really deep right here, really steep, and that kind of continues in the water. Like we talked about in the first video, that steep bank, if you see that, you can kind of expect that to continue out in the water, a steep drop start happening. That's kind of what happened. You got some rock walls and stuff, and actually I see a barge coming way back there. I don't know if you guys can see it in behind there. If that barge gets over here before we leave, we might get a barge bite. But anyway, we got a really steep drop here, so we got a lot to mess with here as far as the depth. We got some structure here. Cole's actually casted out by that little down tree over there. That one isn't as big as the one that I'm after over here on that tree, but he's got some casted over there, and then most of the poles are casted out just before that hump starts up. Because what that does is where that dips down right here and comes back up, anything that doesn't want to be up on that flat has to kind of come through that pinch point that it creates underwater. So we talk about pinch points sometimes on top of the water, like a bridge. It kind of pinches the land together and creates a little narrow section of water and things like that. But there's also underwater pinch points to look for, kind of like travel routes. So that's a good thing to look for when you're looking at navionics. Again, is that depth and kind of seeing for pinch points underwater as well, and all that depth change. So I want to show you guys this spot. It's kind of simple. It's a really rocky, fine rocky area. This has got a lot of gravel right here, a lot of shells. There's some mussels here, not as many as you will see in some of the future spots, but there is a little bit of that in here. And because there's a shallow flat out there, there are some bait up in here, not as much as you'll see in another video as well on another bank spot, but it has some structure, it has depth change, it has that funnel, and it has some bait moving in and out of here. So it is a spot you can come to and catch some fish. So how do we fish this spot? So basically we spread everything out, and depending on the time of the day that you come here, you're gonna have success in different areas. Now when we come here later that night, I was fishing that next to that deep spot coming up out of there. We got here, it wasn't too late, so I knew that they wouldn't be up in the flat just quite yet, so I wanted to try to catch them as they were coming up out of there. And then later into the night, you've seen Cole start getting some bites because he was out here in this flat. So you'll see that a lot, where one of us will be getting some bites early on, and then it'll change over to somebody else getting bites because they're fishing a different depth. So you want to kind of remember that when you're fishing spots, that just because you're catching fish right here, right now, it might not mean that you're going to catch them there all day. If you want to make a whole day out of it, then you definitely want to figure out the lay of the land and lay of the water underneath there, and then you can figure out how you're going to fish it at the time of the day. So you might want to start here like I did, if you're by yourself, and then move over to here where it's more shallow and you're going to get bites like Cole did. Get him? Fish on, baby. We've been set up for maybe 5 minutes, guys. We're out here this morning. It's raining. We got a little bit of wind coming in, which is a good thing for us in this spot we're at. And hopefully the audio isn't too horrible underneath this canopy. Back up under the canopy. There we go, guys. Hooked up. So I'm actually going to have to cut this video a little bit short because the camera's getting soaked. But I think there's enough information here for you guys to be able to learn something from this bank spot, hopefully. And I look forward to showing you guys the next spot because it's going to be packed with a ton of stuff.